You are live.
To call the meeting to order. All those present, if you please rise. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Right. So normally we'd have an approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to amend the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move the new business right after communications.
There's a second. I'll second. Any discussion? Is that something we need to vote on? Yeah. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Incy?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson?
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilsey?
Yes.
Chairman Urbina?
Yes. Okay, any commissioner absences? Seeing none. Any communications?
No communications.
Okay, that gets us to the amended agenda, new business. And item A is Gig Harbor Training Campus Improvements, Construction Contract, Bid Award, and Chief Johnson.
Good evening, everybody. So as you all know, training campus has been being worked on for multiple years. Multiple as in probably, I think we're at the 15-year mark. We are finally ready to award the contract. July 17th, we closed bids for the training campus. We had seven submissions. The low bid came from Pease Construction for $14,549,250. And I would just like to seek a motion to award the bid to Pease Construction and move forward with them for the training campus project.
Their motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the low bid from Pease Construction for the training campus.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Incy?
Can we have some discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we know what we do about Pease Construction?
Sure. So Pease Construction has done multiple larger projects in the area. Their very recent one in 2023 was a $23 million project for the state of Washington and Western State. They've done a larger campus at Thurston County for Thurston County Emergency Management, their operations center. So they have been around the sound. They've done multiple projects. We've done our homework. There's no outstanding issues against them from the state or anywhere else. And looking and finding nothing against them, and obviously them completing state work for the state of Washington very recently, we feel fine with them.
Okay. Tom, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I do. For those that maybe don't remember, it used to be called Pease and Sons. They've been a contractor in Pierce County for longer than I can remember. It's always been a good quality construction company, and I'm personally very comfortable with it. Thank you.
I think you said it was 14 something. It's the bid. Yeah, 14,500,000. The original estimate in the capital facilities plan, something like it was 20, just over 20. So good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Did we scale back, or is that?
I've actually changed and added a little.
Call vote, please.
Commissioner Incy?
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson?
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilsey?
Yes.
Chairman Urbina?
Yes. Thank you,
Chief
Commissioners. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of work over a long time.
Yeah.
Item B on new business, purchase of new medic units.
You ready?
Sure.
All right. DC Peterson.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to talk to you all about so the previous plan that's been approved by the board was scheduled for 1 new medic unit delivery in 2025 and 2 in 2026. Delays in the ordering process as well as increased lead times have pushed the delivery to the first quarter of 2027. Those slots that we had already identified. Did have a vehicle committee that was put together and they elected to switch vendors for the units, and the proposal that you all have in your pocket is reflective of that. That's from Lifeline and CVS. Committee toured both of the manufacturing sites at Braun and Lifeline, believe Lifeline to be the superior. In your packets, there is the quote sheet, the spec sheet, and the copy of the HGAC contract. Finance has reviewed the quote and agreed that it was appropriate to bring to the board. You're asking for approval to move forward with the purchase process for 3 new Lifeline medic units and seeking board approval. These units would not count, but planned in a future year. All associated costs will be budgeted appropriately in the year that they arrive. Questions you all made?
Any questions?
So this is for the purchase of 3,
Yes, sir.
bottom dollars, 3 rigs?
Yes.
Okay.
So with the one coming from Braun, then essentially that'll go into reserve and we'll have an entirely new medic.
Well, you'd have a new frontline fleet.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are we financing this through the state? Or the state thing?
The local program.
These are all part of the cap.
It's the lower bid on the training camp.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion that we approve the contract for 3 new medic units as outlined in the agenda.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Hensy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Wiltie,
Yes.
Chairman Arvida.
Yes.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman, last meeting, I mentioned that the audio was distorted or breaking up. It's still doing that. I can pick up what's going on, but as far as the public, I'm not sure they're gonna totally understand because some of the words are breaking up pretty good. Just a thought.
Okay.
Tom, just as a test, how can you hear me when I talk?
Say again?
Just as a test, how can you hear me when I talk?
Some of your words are being cut off.
Okay,
It's not a clear, you're not coming across nice and crisp and clear.
okay, I'll try to speak up.
Well, it's not you. It's
It's feed.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. The next item, item C, under new business, is a personal services contract for our fire chief. It is in the agenda. It's what we've been negotiating for. Any questions? Comments? Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve the personal service contract. Chief?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
I think the chief's been doing a great job. Happy to extend his time here.
Roll call vote?
Commissioner Hensy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
yes.
Commissioner Wiltie,
Yes.
Chairman Arvida.
Yes.
So now we're
Bounces it back down to the minutes. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of our July 23rd meeting.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hensy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
Yes.
Commissioner Wiltie,
Yes.
Chairman Arvida.
Yes. Gets us to vouchers.
I'll move that we approve accounts payable vouchers 201-766 through 201-857 Grand total of $581,598.38 as outlined in the agenda.
Second. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Hensy,
Yes.
Commissioner Nelson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sudich,
yes,
Commissioner Wiltie,
Yes.
Chairman Urbina.
Yes. I did hear from the local, and there's no report for this evening. That brings us to chief's reports.
Chief's reports, that looks like me. I'll give you a brief update on the software configuration that's going on right now. So previously, we're kind of in the beginning of a three-stage process, but should have our finance software go live in about 2 weeks. We're currently in configuration. Jenny and Crystal have been spending 10 hours a day for the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Once that's over, we're going to start with the payroll, configuring that toward the end of this month or about a month from now. So that's that, those two pieces of software. HR will start configuring immediately after payroll is done. We expect that to go live at around the first of the year. Aside from the softwares, we're currently in budget build. So we've received the budgets from the divisions and we're putting that together. We're preparing for the state audit, which will happen in the next couple of months as well. And then most of all of the software modules will be active and running toward the end of this year, October, November timeframe, so that we can monitor those and then go live in January with pretty much everything else. So it's just back to the same report that I've had previously. There's a lot of work to be done between now and the end of the year with all of these things, whether it's the audit, the budget build, the software, the configuration. And so we're just very busy, but we're moving through it as quickly as we can. And hats off to everybody who's involved, because we're divisions of one. It's Katrina for this, it's Janelle for the other, it's Crystal and Jenny for the finance piece. So we are all working very, very hard. So I'm getting good reports. So we're super optimistic of what it's going to look like January. Just a quick update on that from the finance and admin side.
Any questions? Thank you, Chief.
Yep, absolutely.
Any standing committee reports? Seeing none. Gets us to Chairman's report. I do not have anything for this evening. 2022 bond update. Chief Johnson.
Good evening again. So 53, 57, kind of the same things as we reported last time. They're moving along. If you haven't had the opportunity, 53 has been painted for the station that's there. Siding is not up. Should go up in the next week or so, and then we'll finish painting. But I guess the best description is the old station itself is all painted in the new scheme. Trim being happening today. I was out there today. Fire sprinkler is being worked on. Plumbing is being worked on at 53. So with the delay slightly of some structural things that we had to work through, 53 instead of the end of August is now end of September, and then bumping 57 is the end of October, well ahead of the contractor's completion date of the 4th of January. And then we're just working through some miscellaneous things of fitting everything into the station. One of our things that we worked through last week was just the gear dryer. The way that it goes in, we need to change a little bit because the door is about 2 inches too short. So instead of locking it in, we'll get it in. It's just a matter of coordinating it. Training campus, as you heard tonight and voted on, we awarded the contract tonight. So for the training campus, I will contact the contractor tomorrow and give them a notice that we have awarded the contract. What that starts is his now timeline of providing bond and all of those things. Once I collect all the bond, we research that, do it, and we'll actually give a notice to proceed. After a notice to proceed, We will then have meetings. He will develop his timeline, which most likely they're going to be developing their timeline starting tomorrow if they haven't already, because they knew they were a little bit. So that'll take, a couple weeks, and then we will sit down with them and lay that out and know a lot better probably within the next 3 weeks of their completion date, or at least an idea. So that's how the training campus will work. Station 51, I had probably a 3-hour meeting with Rice Fergus Miller and the interior department. So with computer modeling now, we basically walked through the building virtually and looked at finishes and how things will look and lay out. It looks good. I gave them a few changes. It was just me specifically to do those slight changes. They will then make those changes and we will come back. Commissioner Sudich was there too, on the call. And then I will take it actually to the committee. So I didn't need to involve everybody and try and schedule everyone for a 3-hour meeting, when I can just do the changes and schedule a 1 hour or an hour and a half with the committee to look at it. But it looks great. It's going to be a beautiful station. So those were just schematic images. We're working on some minor changes there, as I said, and then working with the city on some minor amendments to some of their city ordinance. And as I had mentioned before, and I could not remember, but we have reporting back from the Asarco smelter sampling. We are good. We did not fall within a threshold of having to do any arsenic remediation. We were well below the percentage as we thought we would be. So that was good news. The list continues. Station 50. The tree fell on the building in November. We're working through that. A couple of meetings last week. We've narrowed down the finishes. There's some minor structural changes that we need to do because we're going to turn some spaces into campuses. So we have gotten word back from structural now that those, in essence, it's not a big deal. It's actually putting more nails into what's already there and putting a new header in to make the door a little bit bigger. So good news there. We have the roof permit to repair the roof. Now we are done with the documents to submit for the repair and the minor changes that we're doing downstairs. Once we get that, once we put those in, we will most likely work on our documents to go out to bid, which they're already working on those documents now, so that we can be ready to go out for bid for the repairs, because we want to award the roof and the lower part of the building to one contractor versus two. I've learned lots and been recommended by people that do this a lot longer. Having two contractors on the same job site is not a good idea, and they get in each other's way. So we've had the another part of this building is the HVAC and the age of it. I mentioned it at the last meeting. So we're moving forward with that. And last Thursday, both the mechanical engineer and our electrical engineer were in the building, tracing all those pipes and giving us a better idea of what that will entail to repair all of those and replace all of those. Because as I said, all the piping that has all the stuff in it is not compatible with the stuff that we're putting in. So all the piping has to come out, which is going to require pulling down some ceiling and opening up some walls. So we're waiting for that report, hopefully by the end of August, that all back from the electrical engineering and mechanical, and we will get moving. And I think that covers all my projects right now in the report. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to thank Chief Johnson. The meetings I've attended in the past and the most recent one, if anybody here has dealt with architects, they have a way of getting things to where their last project will influence their next project, so to speak. And I appreciate the fact that Chief Johnson has kind of, and I like Rice Fergus Miller. Howard's a great guy, but I like the fact that Chief Johnson kind of reins them in and says, okay, this is how we want it. not how you want it, if that makes sense to the board. I personally appreciate that because he's saving the district slash citizens money on these projects, and I think that's a very good thing. Thank you.
Great comments. Thank you. I don't see any old business. I guess to open public comment. State your name for the record. Have 3 minutes. Don't see anyone here present in person. Is there anyone online? If so, please raise your hand.
Next.
There's a hand raised in attendees.
Carl, are you there?
I am here. I have a question. Could someone tell me what the total budgeted amount for the chief's salary plus benefits will be in the next contract year?
Off the top of my head, I cannot, but we can definitely get that to you, Carl.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Don't see any further comments. Anything for good of the order? Any special interests, upcoming events? Seeing none, I'll move to adjourn the meeting. The next regular meeting will be held on Tuesday, August 27th. Thank you, everybody.